Just on to making this subframe support mounting point for the chassis, because that one's all rotten. Here's how I'm going to do it. I've made two 90-degree plates up at work. They've been hole drilled, sawed, whatever the terminology is, to the correct sizes. So they fit perfectly well like this. This can't go anywhere. Locked in place. Now what I'm going to do is obviously put the stud in there, put the outer bit. I'm going to try and cut straight across, cut over the top and then down so there's rotten bits out. I'm going to try and butt them up so it sits exactly at the same height, same area, same everything as factory. I'm going to try and time lapse it all so see how it's all done. I got the metal rough into place. I have to try and hold it while I get all tacked up. I haven't been able to find anything really to match this to push it all up properly. I'm going to try and tack it behind up in there first of all. So I'm going to take this piece out and hopefully do a bead across in the inside. Put this back in, weld that all up, weld this all in there, this piece, the thinner piece. So then last of all on the outside I can weld obviously the other bead for this underneath strengthening piece. I fitted the mounting point for the subframe to the chassis. You can see it needs a few more welds on it, mostly around this area and the same the other. I'll show you the way I've done it, so I'm not showing yet. Well, not very well anyway. The one thin sheet that was malleable to bend to get the shape inside the chassis. Get a 90 degree. And then I've drilled a hole sawed a hole that'll match the outer welded area, so it'll slot in and be perfectly centered on the old piece of metal, the old stud, out in free here. I think get the light in a good place. So I'm going to get I put this inner piece in, it's inner 90. That was hole sawed to the correct size that this will fit perfectly in and be centered into the smaller older piece. After taking it out, bent another piece up off this thicker chassis material that I'm using, drilled the smaller hole, pushed it all the way up to where this met, which is my centre point. So now we're this far back, and it would hit up into there. So I know how the angle upwards for this other piece. So I just line up the back piece and get it visually looking the best I can. And I've tacked it all up into place. And we've started laying some beads. So it should be the best I can get it. It looks very centered, very flat, very flat, very in the centre of the bit, but I'll see what it knows. I'll put the subframe on to see how in line I got it. This is the most critical point. Right, just finished welding it all in there. So what the back half to do, the back half behind up on the other side of the chassis leg. All this side's done. All around quite happy how it turned out. Not very much the far left corner, this area. Hard to get in there obviously. The weld's coming out way better with this new welding wire. Found out the flux core, which is what I'm using on here, actually degrades over time, and I had the old wire for 1.5 years. So this one's coming out much better. Everything's cleaned off as much as I would like to. This bit up here, I'm not going to really touch it, so I'll put a little bit of weld across the top of it. But this other bit is quite a bit bad. So if I can take out all the spot welds on here, there's 2 at the top, 1 in the centre around here, I think 1 around here somewhere, maybe somewhere in the corner here, but take all the spot welds and try and get this panel off neatly. So I'll look behind it and try and get the other panel off. The other panel will probably have to be cut off a little bit, just at the bottom, just a little, like, weep across there. And then weld up wherever there is, we'll have at least have a look at it. We'll have a look at it, because as you can see, there's quite a bit of rust build up around here. So at least got to take a small look at it. And then go from there. Only got those panels off. Didn't come out of that as neat as I wanted to. Hate drilling out spot welds with a passion. Never come out very good. But here's obviously where it came from. It hasn't came from anything above. It's very good in there. Minimal rust behind here as well. Need to back it up with. Obviously hasn't came from around here. So it didn't come from above, from any seals, like bead panel sealing issues. I guess it just comes in, gathers up around in these wires a little bit, I guess, or trickles down, gets caught up and just feeds its way in slowly. Also gets what I'm probably going to do is just do a bit of metal that comes across. Seems to really cut there. Bit of metal. Then come down. Cover this up as well. So we go down, 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 like that. I fold this down, just weld it to that bit of metal. Same with the one above it. Just weld it. I believe not super structural and should be enough meat there to last a long time. And with it just minimal, just surface. And then start focusing on this bigger bit all around here then. Next, at least I found the issue for why these rust on the side in a certain area. I haven't checked the other side yet, but I'm sure it's not going to be anywhere close as bad. Just cut all the metal, clean everything up where I need to. Produce a bit of an L shape. The bit of metal comes to about here. The bit that protrudes a bit further. I'm gonna spot weld it like it was from factory. At least at first, so I know. So I do this other area. I don't know. I'm obviously gonna have to add on to it. I don't know how far or what yet. I'm gonna weld this block in fully underneath. I just made a plate up. Went a bit mental at that corner. Made a massive gap for it to fill in, but more than enough for what I should be capable of. What I might do, if I change of plan, would be layer one big bead from like here across. So at least I make the other block up here. Now I might do one big continuous bead across, as well as spot welding in the centre. Just to add a bit more security to it. Yeah, I've got to fill these spot welds, get all that, and show you the end result. Right, first plate's in. If you are doing this rust repair around this area, which I very much doubt, but if you are, all this paint that you use on the inside is extremely flammable. Extremely flammable. I've probably put like 50 fires just in this like one bit. That's why it's not came out very good. What I didn't realise is there's an actual aircon pipe behind here as well. I believe it's aircon, I haven't fully checked it yet. I need to check these boards behind here with a borescope. Already. So I've finished the wires obviously by how many fires there have been. And more importantly, the aircon pipe, better check that out. If you're going to do it, it's a lot of fires. Make sure you got extinguisher, water, or just lungs of Jesus. So you are going to be putting out a lot of fires. Just welded that piece in. That plate, as you probably saw in the previous clip, knock down the plate so I can start to spot weld it and weld it into place. I might not bother painting here, I might give it one little coat. It clearly won't paint from factory. It's never really rusted a little bit here, but that's just surface rust. Not even that bad considering how bad the rest of the rust was. So why not bother giving it anything on it? Might be a bit pointless, in my opinion. Just all these thick layers of sealant and stuff, if I can copy that, that should be all good. I'll show you the end result after that's done. And after this bit's straightened out and welded on, I'll show you how it all looks at the end. Save you time watching me weld, keep welding everything up. Show you the end result. I'm going to be on to this front half, which might be a bit complicated because obviously you got all these brackets and stuff, but I don't believe this outer layer has gone that far back, it's just the inner one. So I might be able to mark it and just cut it from the inside underneath the car because there's plenty of room. Let's get a grinder in there. I have just welded that from the outside. Instead of the inside and outside layer as I have on this middle piece. I'll show you the end result after it's all done. Taking out the airbox and the intake pipe just to get behind and down here so I can see the welding. Camera focus. Had a rather large fire that broke out, so you have to be really careful down here. But this bit must be where the water gets in. I might have to rewind the clips or anything, but I don't think I ever saw a bit of metal bent out like that or anything. Where's the sealant and all that stuff? There's anything to protect? Have I been burning it off? There's a bit around there, which I think it must have sealant on it, and I've been burning it off. You see that bit of wire? I call that the grinder. Pretty much right at the beginning. The wire looks okay. See if I can. Yeah, there's a plug. So there's the wire So the aircon pipe from the borescope video looks okay. Quite a bit of wire to grinder. And here's that wire from the borescope video. Can't see any copper in it. Looks okay, it's melted. Same with everything else after a pretty large fire I had down here. As you can probably see by all the soot and everything, it was quite a scary moment. But for the metal, it doesn't look very good, does it? Like it's all pushed out. I don't know if that's had some rust in. I can't make sense of it, if I'm honest. Why there's so many lumps in there with me hitting with a hammer? I don't believe I have. I have to look back at clips, see how I've done it all. But very surprised. I mean, there's not even any welding up here, so I don't understand why I would have hit so hard right there. And especially this bit here, though, that's how the water's been getting in. So it's been trickling down. It's not really, it's not, I have bent in. I mean, that's how it gets in. It freezes in the winter, pushes that metal out, and it's caused a massive rust issue in the future. So I have to put a bit of weld on that area. I had to think about it. Oh, a massive fire again. Alright, that's the middle section done. Yes, I need to grind down these welds and grind the spot weld so the plate sits all nice and flush and the end seal looks nice and good. But I need to do some rust prevention work and figure out this plate. This plate that's going to go on this L shape for the next part of this, the L shape here, and the plate that's going to come here, but I might have to contend with these fittings. I doubt it very much because you can see as it goes clean there, but I don't know how it's L shape. I might have to weld it from the outside. But I haven't quite figured that one out. I'll try and sort the spot welds out then behind here because they haven't came out very good as I was showing earlier. Probably got to use a rotary tool and a tungsten bit on it to grind away the welds so I can see it more clearly and then weld it from the other side. But I can deal with that in the next bit. I'm quite happy how it's came out so far. Just was a lot of fire through this area. So if you are doing it, be very wary when you weld, just wires and fire and all that. That's just part of it. So always be very careful of that. Make sure it fire extinguisher running and go. Because I had quite a big fire behind there. That's the soot surely shown when showing the spot welds. All the soot behind there, obviously showing how bad the fire got. Yeah, quite happy all in all. Quite happy I got this in line. I've used this as a centre point to know how far back it is. And then I've got to use visual to see how level it is. So I can use this to see pretty well, but visually. So I'm pretty happy with that, how that came out.